The overlooked film of the week is Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, but then again, aren't all Tarantino films overlooked? This is the most contemptible, despicable, and detestable prestige film I have seen since No Country for Old Men. This contempt only compounded itself the more I thought about Inglourious Basterds and its exploitation of historical figures that should not be exploited, or goddamn it to hell, have been exploited for too goddamn long for cheap entertainment. Maybe it's the moral authority, or maybe it's the history major inside me speaking loud and clear right now, but the way Quentin Tarantino uses Adolf Hitler, Joseph Goebbels, etc., oftentimes introduced with little subtitles announcing their first on-screen presence, makes me physically sick. Tarantino has a lot of explaining to do, and I seriously doubt we'll hear anything more from him than his usual filmic and pop culture references. The dialogue scenes often drone on and on and on and on and on and on like tumbleweeds across the cinematic landscape of a Leone classic. Just as some of us border on comatose, sure enough, graphic violence comes along to keep us from torpedoing further down the depths of a bad stupor, until finally those last patches of resistance are wiped out by the final ultimate insult sequence. So what if the film's well made and it has good performances and it references this and it references that? Inglourious Basterds reflects a delusional artist who plunders from events, figures, and icons above his artistry. Hitler and the Nazis deserve to be treated seriously, not as comic buffoons or pop-up targets in a shooting gallery. Their villainy deserves serious treatment. I'd rather have a film where hotshot film directors like Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, no more Shyamalan, Rob Zombie, Kevin Smith, and Eli Roth are gunned down in a machine gun blitzkrieg by struggling young visionaries hungry for the spotlight. Yet that would undoubtedly cause a greater outrage than what Tarantino does in this film with the Nazis. No doubt an admirer of this film will pipe up with, "Hey, relax, it's only a movie, it's only entertainment." Not exactly. Not exactly when it's a new film by Tarantino. Not exactly when it's greeted with all the pomp and circumstance of a new postage stamp campaign, or nearly all the fanfare of a new military campaign. Not exactly when it makes millions and millions of dollars. Not exactly when critics and fans alike treat it like a masterpiece. I grumble at it's only a movie philosophy, because who in their right mind would say, "Relax, it's only a war," at a Hollywood war movie? My fundamental problem with taking it's only a movie position regarding Inglourious Basterds comes down to how come Tarantino exploits Hitler, Goebbels, etc., who create visceral, real-life emotions and reactions just by seeing their pictures on a movie screen. Tarantino obviously wants his film to be more than only a movie. He wants it only to be an all-time screen classic talked about in hushed reverential tones like how any demagogue treats a church sermon. Guess we could say millions and millions of people died as a direct result of the actions of those Nazi bastards, just so some goddamn hotshot independent film icon and director could attain cultural immortality. I bet one day Inglourious Basterds will be used as history lesson, and dear God, I hope that one day will not be coming soon. The underlooked film of the week is 1973's Invasion of the B-Girls, written by the colorful author and screenwriter-director Nicholas Meyer. His credits also include Time After Time and Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. There's nothing like a good exploitation picture to arouse one from one's stupor, especially after having survived a bad exploitation picture like Bruce Lee in New Guinea. It all starts with a tagline like, "A powerful cosmic force is turning Earth women into queen bees who kill men by wearing them out sexually," and continues with a nice little title like Invasion of the B-Girls. That gives you a strong idea right from the start whether or not you'll like that film. Invasion of the B-Girls is a cross between Invasion of the Body Snatchers and the Stepford Wives and Russ Meyer classics Faster Pussycat, Kill Kill, and Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Invasion of the B-Girls may be trash, but it is good trash. Not quite at the high level of Beyond the Valley of the Dolls and Inframan, but definitely as good as Rat Fiend Kabooboo. Invasion of the B-Girls stars a great deal of corpses. There's a press conference held by the local authorities and local scientists to inform the public of 8 deaths in 3 days. These are not your average deaths. All 8 victims are men and all died from sexual exhaustion. At one point, a scientist quips that if one must go out, why not go out from having experienced great pleasure and no pain? Typical male fantasy. Anyway, one character asks, could it be some form of epidemic? At this press conference, a heavy intellectual explains all 8 men have met their maker from overexhaustion in the act of sexual intercourse. This line draws some majorly chuckles from the gathered press conference audience. Those gathered men and women smirk and snicker just like men do today every time an erectile dysfunction commercial blasts that declaimer about how men should call a doctor any time an erection lasts longer than 4 hours. Hell, I've known men who bragged loud and proud about having erections lasting longer than 3 minutes. Most all of the heavy actions takes place in and around Brant Research Facility. Heavy-duty erotic experiments conducted by doctors, mathematicians, and scientists. I've not watched a classic horny scientist picture since Tower of Evil, that 1972 horny scientist classic starring a tower filled with evil and several horny scientists who obviously graduated magna cum laude from the Swingers Institute. The unofficial horny scientists motion picture sweepstakes. Invasion of the B-Girls beats Tower of Evil. You know you're watching a good exploitation movie when a Playboy Playmate of the Year plays the most prudish character in the entire film. Victoria Vitri more than earns third billing as scientist babe Julie Zorn, who ought to let her hair down. She is so prude in this film that we see her topless at least twice for minutes on end. Vitri won Playboy Playmate of the Year in 1968 when she traveled by Angela Dorian, and I found out today she played a small but pivotal role in Rosemary's Baby. Somehow a doctor found a way to gene splice Playboy bunnies and bees. This discovery should easily win her a Nobel Prize, if not a hotspot in the encyclopedia of lesbian scenes. These are radical feminist bees who have read Valerie Solanas' The Scum Manifesto. Loyal housewives are turned into killer bees trapped in the killer bodies of beautiful women, given beauty makeovers. This is not a heavy-duty, man-hating picture in the slightest, because it's written and directed by men, and we have several erotic sequences that cater to the male libido overactive in the audience. My 3 favorite lines are, they're dropping like flies. Dropping like flies. Could it be some form of an epidemic? And she ought to let her hair down. Finally, a killer bee picture better than the swarm. But aren't they all better than the swarm?